This is how people get manipulated on social media. A few days ago, some people pushed the idea that Spain was being invaded. But let's read this post from a US politician. 60,000 men invaded Spain via Morocco yesterday. By the way, the large majority have already left within days, but let's not ruin the drama. These were not families with small children or elderly refugees. These were young men of military age. All of them now have the ability to travel freely across Europe via the Schengen area. That's false, but don't let basic geography get in the way of a good panic. This is a disaster for Spain. This is a crisis for Europe. This should scare the hell out of any American who cares about our national security. We will be dealing with the consequences of this invasion for years to come. If I may suggest, I think basic general knowledge would be a great place to start. But now let me show you why that story wasn't the whole truth. But that's why Kwame Ture used to say, the worst kind of lie is the one mixed with a little bit of truth. Look, let's look at the map because seeing where this happened make that quote hit harder. This is the African continent, but let me zoom in and I'll show you Morocco. This is Morocco. But a quick lesson of history, this is Western Sahara. It was once colonized by Spain until 1975. But as soon as Spain left, Mauritania and Morocco moved in to claim territories. But 3 years later, Mauritania left. But Morocco continued to insist that Western Sahara, it is part of its territory. But that's a claim the people in Western Sahara reject and have rejected for decades. Now let me zoom out. Now here you have Spain, mainland Spain on the European continent, Morocco on the African continent. They are like separated here, let me zoom in, by the Strait of Gibraltar, which is on one side you have the Atlantic Ocean, and on the other side you have the Mediterranean Sea. But if we zoom in a bit more, what do you see here? Ceuta, right? That's where it is claimed that between 40 to 60,000 people entered here from Morocco. This is an overseas Spanish territory on the African continent. But within days, the people who entered left, at least the majority of the people who entered left. But wait, that's not the only territory that Spain, that's not the only overseas territory, Spain overseas territory. The second one is this one, Melilla. This also, it is part of the EU. This is also part of Spain. So if anyone attacks this territory, you have to deal with NATO forces. But understand this, both of them, like this is a point of contention because Morocco has never accepted Spain's sovereignty over these two territories, which are so close to Morocco. You see, now, despite all these informations that I've given you, many people talked about the event as if it took place here in mainland Spain, which was great. I mean, let me remove this thing, which was great. I mean, it helped spike the blood pressure of people who get allergic when they are around people from different skin color, culture, or languages. Anything that's different to them, they get allergic. I mean, think about it. The idea, let me zoom in so we can see it again, right? This is Ceuta. Basically, you can't even swim here. You die. This, you can't, you die. Now, the idea that people who made it to Ceuta here, right, would all of a sudden be roaming around Europe as if they were tourists just because they made it here is cute, right? Especially coming from adults. But it also tells you how much some people understand about travel in general, or travel to, when people travel to Western nation. Some people think it's, it's a walk in the park. But now here's the worst part. You see, Most people don't even realize that. Let me zoom out. Here, La France, Paris, just to confirm, La France has more than 13 overseas territories, and the people in those overseas territories are French. But here's one more thing. In many of those territories, the majority of the residents do not look Danish in complexion. Let me show you just a few, right? Now here you have Madagascar, you have Mozambique here, and here you have Tanzania. Now if you zoom in, you have the Comoros, right? Here is Mayotte. Mayotte here, everyone here, French, an overseas French territory. Right behind Madagascar, you have La Réunion, beautiful island, French as well. Everyone here, French. Now let's go to the Caribbean. Yep, we go here. You have La Guadeloupe, you have Martinique, and you have La Guyane. Not this one. You have the French Guyana. In all those territories, the official language is French. These are French citizens.
We, ni nini?